So we're going to play a game of pretend, and we're going to pretend that the comic companies gave us free reign over whatever franchise or character we wanted. We could play around with any title. The only limit given to us is the limits of our imagination. Now that does raise the question, just what would we do? So sit back, relax, enjoy, and we're going to tell you. So this time around we're tackling America Chavez, who made her first appearance in the miniseries Vengeance, issue number 1. A little backstory: she was raised by her two mothers in the utopian parallel. When they sacrificed their lives to save her, she came to our dimension to be a hero. So, what will we do different? As always, to give credit where credit is due, this was written by my brother Chef Jack and is narrated by me, Englentine. Number 1, we're going to pull it down and start fresh. By this we mean that we're going to take it away, all the way to the basics. All the way. Literally nothing from anything that has been published before will be staying. Sure, we'll look at what went before as sort of a guideline for what comes after, but it's going to be considered as official as any other type of fan fiction. There are 2 reasons for this. First, it's the easiest way to get rid of all that Mary Sue SJW BS. And second, it's the easiest way to clear up the multiple origins and vagueness in her powers and everything like that. Number 2, we're going to restore the name Miss America. Or will it be Ms. America? Either way, it's got a history to it. We can let America Chavez just be her secret identity and bring back a legacy character that would actually make sense because Miss America was in the Golden Age. So we won't be shoving out an already established character to bring her in. Number 3, sexuality. Female, of course. Hispanic, absolutely. Gay, why not? Interdimensional refugee from a lesbian paradise that had no social suffering because of lack of men? No. Alrighty, so in the original version of her origin story, American Chavez comes from an alternate dimension known as the utopian parallel. It's a paradise where no one gets sick, no one gets hurt, there's no hunger, there's no strife, no jealousy, no war, and no one is ever discriminated against. And the reason why the utopian parallel is so perfect is simple: there are no men. Okay, sure. These people have never spent time around women. Needless to say, this idea is going out the window pretty quick. Not the idea of a woman-only dimension. We're going to keep that part. But it wasn't some sci-fi feminist paradise. It was, in fact, a parallel Earth in which the entirety of the male population was killed by a bioweapon created by a terror group back in the 1980s. Without men to help keep the human species going, because, you know, men are sort of necessary for that. The female survivors of the bioweapon had to turn to cloning and genetic engineering to have children, which is how America has 2 moms and can legitimately say she's genetically related to both of them. Remember that whole bit about one woman being queer because she comes from Paradise Island, an island filled with women, and of course she is attracted to Steve Trevor because he is something new, and everybody was like, hey, yeah, that's so progressive. So we're going to do the same thing. She's from the utopian parallel where there was a lack of men. So now that she is in our world, there are men all over the place. And occasionally there's going to be some problems in a relationship because she gets caught eyeing the guys. Does this mean that America is really gay? Yeah, sure. All this means is that it isn't the black and white issue that she thinks it is. So just what are her powers again? One of the problems America Chavez's title has is her powers seem to be changing depending on what the writer needs them to be. In one issue, she's as strong as Spider-Man. In another issue, she's as strong as the Thing. She's bulletproof. Wait, nope, she's not bulletproof. Wait, she's got some sort of energy punch. Oh, she could punch through dimension. Now she's punching through time. And what? Jumping from dimension, time travel? What? This? It's nonsense. So from now on, we're going to give her a very defined set of powers. Flying, strength, and vulnerability. How strong? Just above Spider-Man level, but not too far above. How invulnerable? She can bounce bullets, but if you hit her with a tank shell, she is in trouble. That's all. No more powers just because. America Chavez is Latina because of human prejudice. That being said, she is dark-skinned, she has the hair, she has everything in appearance looks Latina. So not only do people who are not of Latino descent think that she is, the Latino community thinks she is as well. So we have some good fish out of water stories. No matter where she is not from here. This can also lead to some decent conversation about illegal versus legal immigration, because if she joins A-Force, if she joins Young Avengers, then wouldn't she have to take care of her status as an alien in Chicago? So would she uphold the law, or would she want to break the law for some of the people around her? The new series of America Chavez is cringeworthy, and it's never more cringeworthy than when she's going against a whole group of white robots, and just the implied racism that drips off these panels are amazing. So if they want to go in that direction for America Chavez with villains, why not let's give her the worst of the worst? So we're going with a hate monger here. It's perfect. Racist with mental powers. Capable of sowing chaos and cruelty without having to get into a punching fest with America Chavez. But he's not one note. He's not a widely used villain, and John Byrne, back in Fantastic Four 279, 280, 281, showed that he could be a pretty effective villain even when you take away all the trappings of Nazism. Along with a hate monger as an archenemy, what we need to do is build America a slate of villains who can regularly challenge her on a deeper level than what we have so far. So what we need to do is come up with a list of characters, some lesser known maybe, and some new characters who would be able to stand up against somebody who's essentially a lesser powerful version of Wonder Woman. Villains like Frenzy or Titania. We could add the Grim Reaper and Necra, Camilla Uniscion, I said that wrong, and even the Mandrill. Sure, these are characters that are hardly used and hardly seen, but that means we could do pretty much whatever we want with them and treat them how we will. Change them up the way we need so they're effective against America Chavez. And also, just to change things up, and because it would be as annoying as hell to anybody, how about a group of good old boy white power racist sexist superheroes? And I mean that, superheroes. The Aryan Nation, this is DC's, but we're going to make our own, is going to be a very controversial group of good guys who help by fighting crime and stopping natural disasters, all the while by being condescending dicks who treat women as if they were weak, and all minorities as if they were stupid and lazy. This group represents everything America Chavez hates. Yet in their first appearance, they're going to be rescuing the residents of a black neighborhood from the largest tenement fire since the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. And they're rescuing these survivors without being hesitant, without joking about it, not using the N-word, because saving people is the right thing to do. And let's make this clear. These guys aren't going to be like the Thunderbolts, a bunch of villains who merely pretend to be heroes. These guys are actually going to be heroes, and that's the conundrum. How America Chavez reacts to these guys should be an exercise in contradictions. America who? Remember, this page from America #1 is written by Gabby Rivera. Pretty much everyone in the Marvel Universe thinks that America is so wonderful that her dandruff cures cancer, and when she farts, rainbows shoot out of her butt. Yeah, it's not happening here. Let's face it, she's a third-tier hero at best, and isn't all that well known, especially among the A-listers. This is a kid who is only just now beginning to make her name, and she's not going to be anywhere near as popular as Rivera is trying to tell us she is. Also, as currently written, America Chavez is an idea, perfect woman who suffers no flaws, is always right and always wins. She's a Mary Sue, in other words. This is an easy fix, though. We'll take a hint from Batman. Bruce Wayne likes to present an image that he's an unbreakable, irresistible force for good in the world, but the truth is, he's a flawed individual who quite often is faking it. He's hurt, he's tired, he's at the end of his rope, and quite honestly, he comes across being so far into the black that he loses sight of the light. We're not going to be writing America Chavez as the perfect iconic hero. She's going to be trying her best to live up to those ideals, but by emphasizing her struggle to do so, we'll create a more interesting character, and therefore more interesting stories than are currently being made in her own title at Marvel. The way we're going to do that, of course, is by not focusing on America, the teen superhero, and instead we're going to focus on her as America Chavez, the girl with powers. the immigrant from another dimension trying to live up to a heroic ideal she believes in. And one way to do that is to show the life outside of heroics. What does America Chavez like to do when she's not punching out supervillains? She's got to have some hobbies, some way to bond with and relate to normal people. Does she have a dog? Let's give her a dog. Let's see her doing girlfriend things with her girlfriend. Let's see her job as she tries to pay bills, because freelance superheroing doesn't pay the electric bill. And that kind of thing is going to bring her more down to earth. It's going to make her more relatable, which is something that is truly missing from the comic books right now. So those were our ideas and opinions. What did you think? Did you like them? Did you hate them? What would you change about America Chavez? Who would you like us to do next? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you did like this video, you want to see more, please click like, click share, click subscribe to see more. Don't forget the little notifications bell. And also, don't forget to go on over to VidMe, Grove of Eglantine, and leave us a little tip. I wouldn't hate you for that. But most importantly, thank you very, very much for watching.